As you can see, we have a fairly well trimmed beech hedge. For this particular job we are taking 18 inches off the inside and taking the top down to 7 feet, which means taking about 2 foot off the top, which includes the beech hedge the other side of the drive, which has to match this exactly. The customer is very specific about measurements, so got the old tape measure out, and that's 18 inches. It's a fairly straight hedge apart from one end, and a bit of a cheat and make life easier for myself. I use the old trick of using a stick marked at 18 inches and basically just cut the side, and you just keep aiming for that stick. I just tend to move the stick along every 3-4 feet, as long as you can see it, and you just keep aiming for it. One thing I had to be careful with, the last 10-15 feet of this hedge, it does bend in slightly as it's shaded out by the tree at the end, so I had to sort of start drifting out at that point, otherwise that end of the hedge is going to be a bit thin. As you can see, it's a pretty dense hedge. It's not been badly cut, it's just over the years it's crept out. It's just dense, it really is. Andy was actually cutting the hedge the other side of the drive, and he actually ended up with a short straw, I think, because he ended up with a bit of bramble in his bit as well. So but I didn't actually film any of the bit he did, but he actually got it spot on. They matched up absolutely perfect. As you can see, Andy's busy cutting away on his side. I've got most of the side off. Got to start putting the curve back in at the top, which pretty much I'm just guessing that. Just keep sort of taking small cuts and work my way along. I didn't go right to the top of the hedge, obviously, because that's coming off anyway. I just cut high enough that it's going to be above where I'm going to take that top off. All the sides off now, and because the ground's fairly level, what I'm doing is actually using the telescopic pole of a pruner, and I've set it to 7 feet exactly, and so I'm using it as a guide instead of guessing or trying to put a line through, and just keep moving that along and use it as a general guide, but it still pays to look along now and then just in case it's gone off slightly. and then it's more of less a case of just keep moving that measuring pole along and keep cutting through it. As you can see how dense this one is, it's a really dense beech. And basically that's all you do, just keep going along, cut as far across the top as I could reach, sort of halfway if not further, and just keep muddling along it. As you can see, it's quite tangly old thing as well. More to the centre of the hedge, there are some really thick bits that I couldn't put hedge cutter through, so basically I just used a pruner on them bits. Luckily it weren't too many bits like that, but sort of normally I'd probably just get the loppers out, but because of the width of the hedge it was just a lot easier to get the pole pruner as you got the reach with it. As you can imagine, on a reduction like this there's a hell of a lot of waste, and so basically once Andy had finished his part of the hedge, I think I was probably about halfway across the top of this one, he basically started chipping. We would not have got all this on one load, even jumping up and down on it, so chipping was certainly the, I wouldn't say only, but the best option for us, and it worked out well. Chipped up quite nice actually. And once I'd finished the hedge I was doing, I sort of helped Andy clear up. Andy's just at the far end there, just finishing his bit off, and I'm nearly finished half the top from this side. I was pretty pleased it's come out fairly straight, and you get an idea of waste, how much waste is there, and there's a big heap at the far end as well. And as you can imagine, Andy's got to load his side as well. So as I said, Andy started chipping and I just kept cutting. At this point I've done most of the top from the outside as well. The sun's getting low now, so I had a job to film it. It was straight on the camera. As I said, I'm not touching the outside face of it though. And sort of, you can just see, if you look down, Andy's and my hedges match spot on. There's more a case Andy matched his to mine rather than vice versa, so I take my hat off to him. And they're really flat, which we were both quite pleased with it. And there it is, all done. As you can see, the little bit on the end there that tapers in, which I had to be careful of, but we were very pleased, and a few compliments from the neighbours as well, which was always nice. Thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed. Thank you.